If you've been building links for any particular period of time, you may have had some success, you may have had no success, you may have had amazing success, but chances are, if you're anything like most marketers and people who try this stuff, one of the biggest questions you run across is why your link building isn't working. Maybe you built 10 links and nothing happened. Maybe you built 20 links and your rankings went down. Maybe you've invested thousands of dollars and you're not seeing anything from it. And you read about the consensus and everyone's telling you it takes time and it takes 6 months and it takes a year. And you're sitting here just pouring good money, good time into it. And, you're just not getting answers. You're not getting comfort. Uh, and you're stuck with just resorting to blind faith. I want to maybe help you with some ideas on why your link building isn't working. And who am I? I'm AJ, the founder of Linkio. I also used to own a outreach link building company that I sold last year. I've done lots of case studies in link building here at our linkio.com resources page. In 2020, I launched a brand new website, and all I basically did was go from zero to, in several months, building all these links here. And the impact of it is the traffic going up quickly. Okay. For Linkio, my own domain, this particular domain, I'd been building links now for a couple years. This is when someone negative SEO'd me. But, consistent link building and the Google Analytics. Here's the analytics in the back end, traffic from Google. Just a steady rise over time. So I have some experience here. I've seen campaigns work. I've seen a lot of campaigns not work. And one of the reasons why I make these videos is I want more people to have success. I want more people to, get the traffic and the rankings and that they want, just so they can, get a payoff for all their hard work and all the risk that they're taking. So there's so many reasons why a link building campaign may not be successful. I'll just rip off a couple of them. Let's say the link quality. Okay. Maybe like the actual links themselves are bad. Maybe the content in the link not relevant. Maybe Google doesn't like your site. As in,
sorry, I don't understand.
Great. It's under optimized for SEO. Maybe you have a penalty. I swear I know how to spell. Maybe you're building links the wrong way. Or maybe it's just too soon. And it actually does take time. Maybe you don't have enough authority for your links to matter. And maybe it's not related to links at all. Like you don't have topical authority established yet. Or the pages you're trying to rank don't match the user intent of the keyword you want. So like, I guess I could go down a rabbit hole of like all the reasons that your backlinks aren't working based on non-link related factors, like the quality of your content. But I think there's so much I could talk about just specifically link related that I'm going to keep this video focused on that. Just to simplify, and it's hard when I don't have a specific website to look at, so I'll try to keep it in generalities. But one of the reasons why a link building campaign doesn't work is because the way the links were built is all out of order. All out of order. What I mean by that is you have a website, and then you add pages, like let's use my Linkio I have a home page here. And then under features, I have like the keyword rank tracker, backlink monitoring, cold email outreach, blogger outreach. So like if I wanted to rank for blogger outreach software when it comes up, um, I would see, who's ranking on page one, and chances are I might try to build links to this page. Or if I want to rank for keyword rank tracking, keyword rank tracker, I might build links to this page. Okay. And what I see a lot of people do is they don't have much domain authority established yet. Like, Linkio's got a domain rank of 67, but oftentimes we'll see a website that has a domain rank of like 10. Okay. And nowadays, what's really impactful, really important in Google's algorithm is domain trust, domain authority, topical relevance. And the way you established domain trust is great content, good user experience, lots of links. If you have a domain rank of 10, then no matter how much you optimize for this stuff, if you have a domain rank of 10, it just means that overall, your overall domain authority is just super low. So what I'd like to recommend doing in this case is before I start trying to rank for this thing, this page, this keyword, I need to make sure my homepage has a ton of authority and links going to it. The power of my homepage, it trickles throughout the entire site. It passes link juice throughout the entire site. But more importantly, it tells Google that this is a real brand. Real brand, trustworthy. What they found is, when SEOs were manipulating the algorithm years ago, you really could just have a DR10 site with like 1,000 links pointing to the rank tracking page, and that might be enough links for Google to rank you. And then they looked at actual websites, and they found that like real websites, they're not sitting here building links to their keyword rank tracker page or their like product page or their services page. They're going out there, they're networking, they're doing PR, they're promoting themselves. And what that looks like on the back end is lots of homepage links. So that's a trust signal. And then when Google starts trusting your site, your internal pages start to rank with little to no links. And a link that you do get to your internal page, it's more powerful, it's more trustworthy, it gets a bigger boost because you're now one of the good guys in Google's algorithm. So keep that in mind. If you're building links, don't neglect the power pages, the trust pages of your site. Otherwise, you're just going to have a tough time ranking. Okay, that's one of them. What's another one is lack of... I said I wanted to stay away from this, but I guess I just have to push it in there. Lack of topical authority. If you are somebody in the, let's say the wedding space, okay? I've got this other website that I own. It's basically just like a little side thing. I use it to like sell sponsored posts on it. A lot of people find the website through our Write For Us page, and it performs quite well in terms of organic search. And this was like an expired domain that I purchased and revitalized. And when I brought it back to life, I made sure to launch with lots of relevant content all about the wedding space. And I really focused in on the particular niche. Now, a lot of blogs and websites I see, they go very wide. They're talking about health, lifestyle, technology. Those type of websites rank well when they're like gigantic news sites. But now that we're in the world of like big brands, big authority, high DR. If you aren't one of these high DR sites relative to your industry, the best thing you can do is niche down. Focus your content on a particular thing. Like I'm in this ridiculous SEO space. I'm dealing with like Neil Patel and Backlinko, and these guys have huge budgets. And so what I decided to do is I really wanted to niche down and focus specifically on link building and outreach content. That's all I talk about. And leave a handful of articles, and it's all laser focused there. And we're able to rank without like a ton of links, just because we've been able to establish a lot of topical authority um, for this particular topic. Now, there's no like, you can't go to Google and like check your topical authority or something. It's more of like an art than a science. But just be focused on the type of content you create. Don't go too wide. And less is more when you're talking about content versus quality. Like, create really good, complete, long form content. Skip those 500, 800 word blog posts. Save that for your guest post or whatever. The stuff that goes on your actual blog, just make it really good, make it really thorough. It'll rank better without links. So yeah, that's there's the content quality part of it. Okay. What else? So we talked about your brand trust. Talked about some of your content factors. Now, the way you build links is important. Let's say you're doing outreach, and that means you're getting contextual links on different blogs. So the topic of the article that you're getting a link from, the anchor text, and the type of site. These are all factors that may or may impact your site. One of the things I found in general is that it just takes more links to rank these days. The link signal, I don't think it's as powerful as it was 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So this is kind of like a slow and steady, don't mess up too much, scale up, but like be safe kind of thing. So you have to keep these general rules in mind. The article that you get a link from, if you're a plumber website, you shouldn't be getting links from like a fashion blog that talks about lipstick in the article. It just looks shady. So like I think topically relevant websites, the article is relevant, links to your website, that's a good signal. Even if the website that's you're getting a link from is like a domain authority 5, 10, 15, if it's not a spam, if it's like a real site and it's topically relevant, I'm happy with that link. It's a fantastic link. A ton of links I got from this grooms and gifts site, actually. If we just like peel back the layer of this thing. If we look at, I think I did a study where I looked at the percentage of like DRs from these sites, and a lot of them were like DR 14s, DR 20s, but they were every single one of them were wedding related. These were websites that like don't sell guest posts constantly. Half the time they weren't even sure like when the last time they posted a blog was. But this topical relevance really helped boost the rankings of this site. So keep that in mind. Keep things topically relevant. Anchor text is a big one if you haven't thought about this yet. Most people, they understand that you want a keyword in the anchor text if you want to do well and if you want to rank. Okay, that's generally true, but then if you get too aggressive with your keywords, you can potentially get penalized. So there's some really good anchor text guides out there. A couple I'll recommend. This Gotch SEO one is really good. I think this Diggity Marketing one is really good. For my previous company, Outreach Mama, I had written that one, which is really good. and I have a Linkio one also that's really good. A lot of these are kind of similar. They talk about not being too aggressive with your anchor types, varying up the percentages, and they give you little rules of thumb to follow. Um, we took it to like a really scientific level where we broke down like uh, the anchor text breakdown of links pointing to your homepage are different than your content pages, and those even yet are different than your like services product pages. So if you go to Linkio, you sign up, you can put in your website. You can like, I guess I can just show you real quick, but if you log in, you can see this Groomsmen Gift Source website. I've entered it as an e-commerce website. I could have put it as software, local business, national. And then if we go into particular pages, I've added one page here. It's the home page. And because it's an e-commerce homepage, it's got a particular anchor text suggestion breakdown, brand name, website name, exact keyword, this kind of stuff. And if I wanted to add another page, like let's say I wanted to build links to this product page here, then this would be an e-commerce product page type, and it would have a different percentage. So that's one way to do it. And then if you look at this Diggity Marketing article, they like to hammer in that looking at if you have a keyword that you want to rank for, Google that keyword. Like if I wanted to rank for keyword rank tracker, for example, I'm supposed to take these top 5, top 10 results, check the average anchor text percentage of all of them, and then use that. That becomes my guide. I would try to copy that guide. So if you wanted to do that as well, you could do that through Linkio. You could add new competitors, analyze them, set them as the ideal. So that's one way. If you're trying to figure out why your links aren't working, I recommend analyzing your homepage anchor text percentages. Oftentimes you'll see an anchor text score is really low, like in the 40s, 30s, and it just means you don't have enough branded anchor text usually, which we talked about. If you don't have a lot of branded anchor text, your domain trust is likely to be low. And if your domain trust is low, the links that you get to your site aren't going to have as much impact, or you're going to need a lot more links to have the same impact. So that's an important thing, often overlooked, often misunderstood. If you have questions, ask them to me here or ajay@linkio.com. And then a type of site, I meant like the website that's linking back to you. What are their SEO metrics? Do they sell a lot of backlinks? Are they a quality website or not? Those factors are important. And if you have a paid tool like Ahrefs, one of the nice ways to check what's going on there is you can put in like a website. And if you just kind of search for their entire domain, some of the things that are worth looking at is how much domain rank and authority do they have? How much organic traffic do they have? What's the traffic value? And if these numbers are, if it's like a high DR, but no traffic value, no keyword rankings, chances are it's a low quality site, not necessarily the type of site you want to get links from. But I can caveat that with my other example. I was talking to you about the Groomsmen Gift Source links. And if we look at some of those backlinks, this one has a domain rank of 0.03. Handful of keywords, no traffic. But maybe this site is okay because maybe it's a local business and they're not necessarily great at marketing and doing SEO, but they have some local visibility. And like for local keywords, Ahrefs is not picking up any traffic. So, but Google's picking up that traffic. Google knows. So my rule is like if it's a local business, I wouldn't pay too much attention to these stats or these stats. I worry more about relevance. If it's a website that has a lot of domain rank, I'm looking at these stats. If it's a zero, I'm getting a sense that it's not actually a high quality site. So those are some factors. Now, let's say you've taken care of all of these. You've got trust. You've got topical authority. You're building links the right way. Your anchor text is looking good. You've been doing this thing for 6 months, 9 months, and you still haven't gotten the results that you want. What gives? What's going on? What needs to happen? Usually, it's a handful of things. Okay, one, Google does not like you. There's some websites that just they're not in Google's good graces. It sucks. It's hard to figure out why. Maybe there's a penalty 10 years ago. Maybe the domain is sandboxed. When I started this domain, it was actually originally on groomsmengiftideas.com, and I built like 50 links to it, and the traffic was not rising the way I expected it to. And I looked in the back end, and there were no penalties, no nothing. And I was like, you know what? Google just doesn't like this site. And my partner was like, what are you talking about? How's that possible? And I just had this feeling. So I cut off that domain. I moved the site here. I moved all the links here. And wouldn't you know it, the website just started shooting up. So that just happens. And sometimes there's no signal for that. So keep that in mind. If you've been working on your site a lot, it sucks to rebrand and move your domain, but that's possible, especially if you're not the first owner of that domain. Number two, hasn't been long enough. Back in my old agency, I had somebody who was paying us like $6,000 a month. We were getting, dozens of links per month to them, and it just wasn't working for 6, 7, 8 months. But my client was a pro. He kind of understood that it's, doesn't always go the way you want. So he kept going. He had faith. He knew the process. He'd done it before on his own. And he liked the links he was getting. And eventually there was just like a pop. And suddenly the site came alive. Pages started to rank. Pages we didn't build links for started to rank. So it's kind of like, I don't know how you explain it, but it's like you gotta earn it, period, that the algorithm gives you. Sometimes it loves you, sometimes it makes you earn it. But consistency is always rewarded in this industry, as long as there's nothing wrong with the site. The content was great. They were doing all that stuff. It just took longer than we wanted it to. And then another one is just not enough links. A lot of times you run into, if you're trying to outsource, you run into budgetary constraints where you're newish or mid authority and your competitors are all high authority. They've been around longer, and you're trying to breach this space, and you've got this $500, $1,000 to invest. Sometimes that just doesn't cut it. It's not enough. You'd have to do it for 2 years to get on the radar of where your competitors are. So you really have to, take a long look at where your goals are, what your budget is, what's feasible with that budget. And the best way to build a lot of links is to learn how to do it yourself, build a small team yourself, and a small budget will go a long, 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 long way when you know how to apply it. I've got a ton of material on my newsletter about how to go about building a link building team, how to get free links, how to do it at scale, how to do it in a way that gets results. So make sure you check that out. And I think that covers the basis of why your link building may not be working and some action steps, some things to keep in mind. If you have any questions, again, ajay@linkio.com. Go to my website, subscribe to the newsletter, check out our tools. We do blogger outreach automation. We do link prospecting, anchor text analysis, everything you need for an effective link building campaign. You can find it at Linkio. Cheers.